Alright. This video is a chuckle, a chuckle factory about somebody having a straight up fucking liberal meltdown about me pointing out something that is very simple. And most of you don't even pay attention to it. You don't even think about it. You know what it is? When you die, you will not be mentioned for your accolades on any media platform whatsoever. You will not be mentioned for your accolades. Unless you're a part of the military, the police force, a politician, or popular. Now, I mentioned this on I guess it would be like a news reel or something that about a YouTuber that died just recently. Okay. Now, let's remember, you remember Tom, my buddy Cat Without the Hat? I'm still butthurt over that shit. Like, they didn't even mention his name until people started complaining. All right? Let's be clear. They didn't mention his name until people started complaining. They said there was a vehicular incident where an airman was killed and two other individuals in a Chevy Trailblazer. They didn't even mention Tom or Sebastian. They didn't give a fuck about him. They didn't say nothing. It wasn't until you and I got on the internet and fucking sat there and pissed and moaned that they came back and did a second installment, took down their previous video, and pointed out that Tom was actually killed in the crash. Segue into what just happened. Mr. Adam Wu, I guess. People probably know about him. I don't, because I never followed him. Wasn't even, didn't even come and register on my panel or anything like that, or just anything at all. I've never heard the name. Okay? Did not fucking matter word one to me. But he was mentioned as a YouTuber. And he died in his living room. Okay? Like, what the hell? Homie dies fucking peacefully, but everybody's sitting there, oh my God, Adam Woo. But, Tom is literally going to get a couple of beers with his brother at 3 in the fucking morning. And they get mowed down by some asshat who's either too fucking late to get to fucking work or too fucking early for anybody to give a shit, and he's just hot rodding around to fucking feel hot, hot on the bother in his little Rice Rocket Subaru. He smacks into them, kills both of them instantly, kills himself too, but the only person that was mentioned originally was the airman. Tom and Sebastian weren't even fucking mentioned. It wasn't until the rest of us who were part of his community stood up and said, what the fuck, over? That man had 4 children, a wife, and he's dead. And there's nothing we can do about that. And you motherfuckers want to sit there and piss and moan about some asshat who was late for fucking goddamn revelry? Excuse the fuck out of me. Not interested in listening to this bullshit about, it was an airman though. You know what? Tom was a dad. That airman, he was a street racer. He was obviously late for fucking work. And he was driving a vehicle that he probably was still making payments on. Tom, that Trailblazer was paid off. His fucking life was in order. He was enjoying himself with his brother. But that airman was late for work, not paying attention to the road around him, smacked into him. Yeah. I'm sorry, but miss me with your crybaby bullshit now when I go to some other fucking newsreel or something and say, well, now I see if we're popular on the YouTubes, then they'll mention that we were YouTubers. If we're popular in the grand scheme of shit, they'll mention our accolades. If we belong to some fucking special organization where the government is proud of us, then they'll mention us when we die in a fucking newsreel. But if it's like me or you, we not only don't get mentioned, they gloss over it entirely. They say the names because that's what they have to do. It is the minimal prerequisite. The absolute bare nuts minimum that they have to do. Beyond that, they don't have to do shit. They sit there and they go, oh, well, the memorial for the airman who was killed. No, the airman killed Tom. The airman killed Sebastian. The airman did not fucking get killed. That motherfucker was driving at a high rate of speed down that road and T-boned them as they were coming out of a driveway. How would I know this? Because I've actually looked at the crime scene. Now, why would I be saying anything about this? Well, to mention this person, just to kind of give them more than they fucking really deserve. But I'm just going to put it out there. Miss Tia 777 or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. He, she, they, what the fuck ever, I don't know, decided to go and piss and moan at me for pointing this out in a comment section. I have receipts, I have the fucking pictures of the fucking comments, and I'll put that on a post. I just wanted to point out to y'all that when I pointed out this something simple about how, you and I will not even be a fucking registrar on the damn meter. We're not going to show up at all. Nobody's going to give a shit. They're going to say, oh, this person died, and they'll say their name, but they won't say anything about their accolades. I want you to understand this, okay? Realize exactly what I'm pointing out. Because this person decided to come over and tell me I was a narc. I'll get to that in a second. But they told me I was a narc and a liar for pointing out the truth and actual fucking facts. Red flag. You basically showed me you're a liberal nutcase. But I digress. Let's get into it, shall we? So, somehow, I am a federal narcotics agent. You know what? That's what a narc is. Whoever the fuck you are. Okay? A federal narcotics agent. Take the sides off, narc. That is what a narc is a federal narcotics agent. DEA. Have you ever in your life understood what it means to be a narcotics agent? Like, I don't know, like the cop that goes and busts people for selling crack. No? No, you just used the word even though you don't know what the fuck it means. Well done. Well done. You just proved to the fucking world you are a complete and utter jackass who has not lived long enough to be able to tell what the difference is between a narc and somebody who is actually sensible. The difference between somebody who is a narcotics agent and somebody who happens to have taught their dog to sniff out drugs. You know that? Funny thing, he can sniff out drugs all day long, but I'm not a cop. Come here, Udo. See this guy right here? This boy right here, he has actually sniffed out more drugs than I've ever seen. And yet, you know what's the difference? Me and him, are not drug agents. I'm a minute man. This is a minute mutt. We just have to be able to do the job that's necessary when it becomes necessary. So, yeah, we're not narcs, jackass. Right, my boy? And my boy, I loves. Yes, I loves my hund. I'm like, oh boy, I love you. Oh, your breath stink. Yeah, I'll get you a toothbrush in a minute. Oh, I'm just trying to point out to you that stupid people will say things on the internet because a keyboard gives them a set of brass balls. But they don't realize what the fuck that is coming out of their mouths or across the internet because when they type, they don't pay attention to what the fuck they're saying. I'm paying attention to what the fuck I'm saying. My buddy Tom lost his life, and nobody knows that he was the cat without the hat. Nobody knows. It was as if he never fucking existed. But you want to sit there and piss and moan about some cocksneeze who all he does is fucking popular posts. Okay? And when I say, well, there's the proof right there, they'll actually pay attention to somebody who was popular, but they don't give a flying fuck about the rest of us. This person comes out of the fucking woodwork to tell me I'm a narc and a liar, and I will fucking show those on the internet. I will show everybody. You basically just burned whatever fucking, handle that was, Miss Tia. Okay? You literally burned yourself. When you go and you start a fucking argument that you know you cannot win because you know you are wrong. What the hell, person? I don't know if you're a lady, a man, what the fuck ever, because in this fucking goddamn clown world, you don't know if I'm a guy or a girl, which is weirder than fuck because if you couldn't tell, maybe the hairy chest might give it away. I don't know. I'm a freaking dude. How hard is that to understand? Sometimes it takes a caveman to point out the fucking stupidity of the rocket scientists. Just saying. Sometimes it does. And that's why I appreciate all my cavemen, because y'all motherfuckers, you keep me honest. I'm going to be straight up and fair with you. You keep me honest. Because if it wasn't for cavemen, I am a rocket scientist. I do that shit for fun. I mean, need I say more? I am a rocket scientist. I do that shit for fun. So this bullshit that you hear on the interwebs with these people going and losing their minds over a comment I think is fucking hilarious, but it's me trying to pass it on. You know, pay it forwards, as it were. Take what the old my caveman gave me and be the caveman, turn around and pass it along. Because, if it's not an issue for you, if you're not going to sit there and try to utilize that machete on your intellectual thicket, why the fuck do you have the machete in the first place? If you're not going to use your brain, why the hell do you have that squishy organ inside your gourd in the first place? Because it's not doing any good. It's taking up oxygen, it's taking up nutrients, and it's taking up fucking airspace. I try to actually make mine do some good. But from what I can see, apparently there's a reason why I'm not popular. And it's because I'm not willing to kiss somebody's ass. I'm sorry, but I don't get down on my knees. I have arthritis. If I get down on my knees, I'll have a hard time getting back up, and it's not because of the pain. So, there. I am not going to kiss your ass. I'm going to not fucking sugarcoat shit. I'm going to tell you how the fuck it is. You don't matter. Okay? The reason why Adam Wu got his name and all that fun shit on the internet and his accolades and his fucking pat on the back attaboys was because he made popular posts. He never ruffled anyone's feathers. He didn't make waves. And there you go. The rest of us, on the other hand, the ones who actually don't fucking put up with people's pander-ass bullshit, we get ignored. We get pushed to the back of the freaking room. We get told that what you say doesn't matter. We get the whole, not just depopularized, but actually take a look at my videos. Go ahead. Look at how many views I've got versus how many subscriptions I've got, for that matter. Okay? How many people are subscribed to me versus how many views each video gets. And you'll notice something about that. 67, 74, 125. As far as views. Maybe 4 or 5 thumbs up. But I have over 300 subscribers. And I don't allow bots, I don't allow children, I don't allow none of this other crap. So, where the fuck are all these other assholes at? They're like Miss Tia. They're sitting there telling you that they're subscribed to me, but they're not subscribed to me because they want to hear what I have to say. They're subscribed to me because they want to sit there and troll me. Now, if you didn't notice this, that is a disingenuous method of being a human being. That is left-wing liberalism in its fucking entirety. A lot of the time, I'm pissing off Republicans, but at least they have the fucking wherewithal to sit there and go, he's fucking right. It's the same thing for me when I go and I fucking point out some bullshit, because guess what? I'm fucking autistic. I see everything. All right? It's literally, I see everything. I mean, how the fuck else would I be able to find shit in this fucking shit show? Think about that for a second. Look around my particular workspace. Can you find anything in here? It's like a fucking thing of Where's Waldo. It's like the freaking computer game where you gotta find certain items with a flashlight. I'm autistic. This is how my brain operates. A fucking scattergun is more accurate. But a scattergun is not as effective. You see that? So anyways, Ms. Tia learn some things about life before you go starting shit on the internet and thinking, oh, well, I got him. Oh. Because you didn't. You just made me into the person that's going to turn you into me. You just made me into the person that's going to make it so that, just like me, your accolades, your everything that you do on the internet, all of the things that you accomplish in your life aren't going to even be mentioned at your funeral. Instead, you're going to be mentioned as some person that died. Maybe you get your name out there because somebody cared enough. Maybe. But with the attitude you've got, I doubt it. I know I'm going to be somebody who's fucking ignored and bastardized and fucking completely fucking just put into a dark hole of history because somebody decided Blaine is not popular. Blaine shouldn't be popular because Blaine is right. See how that works? This is why I don't like people who have that fucking, oh, you don't like these people, you don't like this group, and you say that this group is that way, and I don't say shit, I just fucking observe. What the hell, people? I literally look at something and say what I see. The fuck are you talking about? You're a lying narc. No. I'm an observant individual. I am highly fucking functioning autistic. I can see everything that happens, know everything that happens from a picture. I can look at a picture and know what happened there in the entirety of that picture because of life experience and the fact that I see everything. And I mean everything. Whereas somebody, and me and my cousin just had this argument by the by. Whereas some folks, they sit there with a firearm and it's bang, boom, ha, ha, ha. Look, there's a hole over there. For me, it's primer creates flash, which ignites powder, which if the powder burns too much on this side, it'll push the bullet over that way. If the powder ignites too much on this side, it'll push the bullet over that way. And if I see that the bullet goes straight, that's great because it'll push the bullet more straight towards what I'm shooting at. And that's why I can shoot way the fuck out there at 500 fucking yards with an air gun. This is what I mean by I am autistic. I'm not like you people. There's a reason, sure, I understand why I'm not popular. I'm fucking okay with that. I'm not okay with the world looking at people who are unpopular and saying they're not worth it to sit there and extol their accolades. They are not worth it to sit there and be proud of the good things that they have done. Because why be proud of somebody who didn't have that many followers, didn't have that many people they influenced? Why be proud of them? Even if they did good works, really freaking good works. Why be proud of them when we could be proud of this other asshat who had millions and millions and millions of followers and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of views? Even though what their views were on was puppy videos and I went hiking up the side of a mountain videos and things that nobody gives a shit about because it's not important that what you're doing. You're not making any difference in society or in, furthering human knowledge. You're just out there with a camera in your face going, look at me. And this is why I have a problem with it. Because they're doing nothing good. But we're singing their praises. Whereas people like Kat, who's out there questioning things, wanting to know the truth of the world, trying to get people to see truth and realize the world for what it is, a dark and evil beast. They literally get forgotten a month later. Receipts to come. Y'all have a good one. This is Yo Guardsman, and I'm out.